This is America. We don't typically love small cars, subcompact cars. They're not really our thing. Unfortunately, the rest of the world gets it and they love them and they get good models. One such model is this 2013 Mazda 2. Now, it started its life off in Japan, Europe, and Australia back in 2007. We finally got it in 2010 as a 2011 model year. It's still sticking around for 2013, and that's a very good thing because this is a very good little car. One of the reasons we haven't liked subcompacts is because they're typically bland, little, boring appliances, especially when it comes to style. That couldn't be further from the truth here. This thing is filled with style, especially considering the size. Now, it's a little happy up front, and the next crop of Mazdas down the road are getting angrier with style, and we like it. But it works on this car, and there's still sporty touches with these lower lips on the fascia, the sharp cut headlamps, and since this is the touring model, you get the fog lights. You also get these cool 15-inch alloy wheels. Coming down the rest of the side though, there's more substance here. You've got puffed out fenders, you've got a great character line running the length of the body and down the lower portion of the body. Again, the wheels sticking here. You've got sharp looking swept tail lamps coming back because again, where you're dealing with the touring model, you've got this rear roof spoiler. This is tons of style jammed into a small package and it works well. If you're a fan of all things Mazda, you'll know that this is called the MZR. We're gonna tell you though that it means it's a 1.5 liter inline 4-cylinder engine with dual overhead cams. That also means it's good for 100 horsepower and 98 pound-feet of torque. And that sounds abysmal, but it's not. This car only weighs about 2,300 pounds. It's got enough grunt up here to have fun, and it's paired with either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. Now, if you go with the automatic, that fun factor is gonna be greatly reduced. This has the manual though, and we're gonna hop inside, give you a quick look around before we actually show you how 100 horsepower can still be fun. As funky and fun as the outside of the Mazda 2 is, it's almost the opposite on the inside. It's very simple and minimalistic, but you kind of expect that for a car that costs, well, this one costs about $17,000, but we have one that's fully kitted out. You can actually spend less than that if you want. That said, there's still a bit going on in here to make you feel comfortable and to have some of the features you might enjoy. You're not gonna get nav in this car. This is the bottom segment of the industry, but you're still getting some good things. You're getting Bluetooth connectivity. You can listen to your music through Bluetooth. There's an iPod connection down here, USB cable, audio input. You've got volume controls on the steering wheel. You've got air conditioning, and you've got really well-made, comfortable, surprisingly supportive seats, which does let you know that this car does like to be flinged around a little bit. So if Mazda wants to keep on keeping on in this segment, I think they should kick it up a notch with a few of the features. Companies like Kia and Hyundai, Chevy now with their Sonic and their Spark, they're throwing a lot of features and tech at these cars, and that's a great thing. So if Mazda wants to compete here, they're gonna have to step it up. But one area where they do win is driving dynamics. So how can you have fun with just 100 horsepower? Well, you pair that engine with a body that weighs just 2,300 pounds and a fantastic manual gearbox. Mazda makes the best manual gearboxes in the industry. I'm convinced of that. And it's no exception here with the Mazda 2. Now, the steering isn't quite MX-5 quick, but it's plenty quick enough. You can change lanes. This car just moves around. It does everything you want it to behind the wheel. The only thing it doesn't have is rear-wheel drive, but you can still have fun with front-wheel drive. You can still have fun with under 150 horsepower, and you can have a ton of fun with the Mazda 2. How can you do that? Well, up front, McPherson struts. It's got a torsion beam out back, and it's just perfectly paired for what we're trying to do here in terms of having fun behind the wheel. The seats are comfortable. I'm in a great driving position. I've got good visibility. And if I were on a canyon road, I'd have a smile bigger than the car that I'm driving. There are plenty of competitors now in the subcompact market. Automakers have realized that we want affordable, fuel-efficient transportation. Speaking of fuel efficiency, this is rated at 35 miles per gallon on the highway, 29 in the city with the manual gearbox. We're flogging this thing a little bit and we're still hitting 30 miles per gallon. That's a good sign. Now, the competitors you can go against, the Chevy Spark, the Ford Fiesta, and there's a few others out there like the Kia Rio. Those are fun cars. They're quirky little cars. They all have their pluses and minuses. Some have better interior features, some have better interiors, period. The thing that the Mazda has that those guys don't though is pure driving fun distilled to its basic form. We're talking about slow car fast. This thing's got it in spades and I'd be happy to put one of these in my garage.